Did you know Lionel Messi might be shaping the next global superstar right here in Miami? An 18-year-old attacker is suddenly in the spotlight, but can he handle the pressure of Messi-level expectations? Most young talents crumble under this kind of attention, but Inter Miami have a bold plan that could change everything. Stay tuned because what happens next could rewrite the rules of football development forever. We'll explain everything in this video step by step. Don't skip. Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts because something big is brewing in Miami. Inter Miami are not just building a team, they're building a legacy. And right at the heart of it, one name that still makes defenders nervous in their sleep, Lionel Messi. Now listen closely. Reports are flying in that Inter Miami are stepping in to help Messi personally promote an 18-year-old attacking sensation. Yes, 18 years old, raw talent, fearless feet, and suddenly standing in the spotlight of the greatest player of this generation. Talk about pressure and opportunity. Imagine this for a moment, a teenager chasing a dream, grinding through youth football, fighting for minutes, fighting for belief, and then boom, Messi opens the door. Training ground whispers turn into headlines. One pass, one smile, one moment alongside Messi, and the football world starts paying attention. Inter Miami know exactly what they're doing. This isn't charity, this is strategy. They understand Messi's influence goes far beyond goals and assists. When Messi endorses, people listen, fans watch, scouts react, and suddenly an unknown youngster becomes a name you must remember. But make no mistake, this is not an easy ride. The kid now carries expectation heavier than a Miami summer. Every touch will be judged, every miss magnified, because when Messi stands beside you, excuses disappear. And yet, this is how stars are born, under pressure, under lights, under the guidance of a living legend who once walked the same dangerous path, from a fragile young talent to a global icon. So keep your eyes locked on Inter Miami, keep your ears open, because this isn't just about Messi playing football, this is Messi shaping the future. Is this the next breakout star, or the boldest development move in MLS history? Stay tuned because the next chapter is just getting started, Inter Miami reportedly. Backing Lionel Messi in promoting an 18-year-old attacking talent is a move that instantly sends shockwaves through the football world because it blends ambition, influence, and long-term vision into one powerful storyline. This is not just a club helping a young player gain attention, it is a calculated step that places one of the greatest footballers of all time at the center of a development strategy. For Inter Miami, this represents a clear message that the project goes beyond short-term success and headline signings, focusing instead on shaping the next generation while using Messi's global stature as a catalyst. The idea of Messi actively promoting an 18-year-old attacker carries enormous weight because of what Messi symbolizes in modern football. His journey from a quiet, undersized teenager in Argentina to a world icon is deeply relatable for any young player chasing a dream. When a club aligns a teenage attacker with Messi's presence, it automatically creates belief both inside the dressing room and among supporters that this player is worth watching. Inter Miami stepping in to support this promotion shows trust not only in Messi's footballing instincts but also in his understanding of what young talents need to grow. From the club's perspective, this move reflects smart management in a league that is rapidly evolving. MLS is no longer just a retirement destination, it is becoming a platform for development and global exposure. By backing Messi in promoting a young attacker, Inter Miami position themselves as a bridge between raw talent and worldwide recognition. The teenager benefits from visibility, while the club benefits from increased attention, commercial appeal, and a narrative that extends beyond match results. It creates a win-win dynamic where youth development and star power work hand in hand rather than competing for space. For the 18-year-old attacker, this backing can be both a blessing and a challenge. Being associated with Messi instantly raises expectations and places every performance under a magnifying glass. Training sessions become auditions, and minor moments on the pitch can suddenly turn into talking points across social media and sports news outlets. Inter Miami's support suggests they are aware of this pressure and are prepared to manage it carefully, ensuring the player is not rushed but gradually introduced into bigger roles while learning from the environment Messi helps create. This reported backing also highlights how Inter Miami are shaping their identity as a club built on storytelling as much as trophies. Football today thrives on narratives, and few stories are more compelling than a young attacker being guided into the spotlight by Messi himself. It reinforces the image of Inter Miami as a club where legends do more than play, they mentor, influence, and leave a lasting impact. By standing behind Messi in promoting this teenager, the club underlined their commitment to building something sustainable, where the present success fueled by star names connects seamlessly with a future driven by emerging talent. Messi's influence accelerating the youngsters' rise into the spotlight is a powerful example of how reputation and legacy can reshape a player's career almost overnight. When Lionel Messi becomes linked, even indirectly, to a young attacker's development, the football world reacts instantly. Wise scouts, analysts, fans, and media outlets all lean in, eager to understand why Messi's attention has turned toward this particular teenager. His presence acts like a spotlight switch, illuminating talent that might otherwise take years to be noticed on such a global scale. For an 18-year-old attacker, this influence can transform daily routines into moments of opportunity. A simple training session alongside Messi becomes a story. A shared drill, a quick exchange of ideas, or a visible moment of encouragement suddenly carries meaning beyond the pitch. Messi's quiet leadership and football intelligence create an environment where learning happens naturally, and young players absorb habits that are impossible to teach through instruction alone. This proximity to greatness accelerates development, not through pressure alone, but through exposure to elite standards that redefine what is considered normal. The acceleration into the spotlight also changes how the youngster is perceived by decision makers. Coaches may view the player with heightened interest, knowing that Messi's football instincts rarely misjudge talent. Opponents prepare more carefully, fans follow more closely, and opportunities that once felt distant suddenly appear within reach. This shift can fast-track confidence as the player begins to believe that they truly belong at a higher level. Messi's influence doesn't just open doors, it gives the young attacker the belief to walk through them without hesitation. However, this rapid rise is not without its complications. With visibility comes scrutiny, and every performance is evaluated through a sharper lens. Comparisons begin early, often unfairly linking a teenager's style or movement to Messi himself. Expectations climb faster than experience, creating a psychological challenge that can overwhelm even the most talented prospects. Messi's influence, though powerful, also demands maturity from the youngster, who must learn to balance ambition with patience while navigating attention that arrives earlier than expected. What makes Messi's role particularly impactful is his understanding of this pressure, having lived through it himself. His journey equips him with empathy that few others possess, allowing him to guide the youngster subtly rather than forcefully. A word of reassurance, a calm gesture, or an example set through professionalism can steady a young player's mindset during moments of doubt. This mentorship softens the intensity of the spotlight, turning it from a blinding glare into a guiding light. As the youngster's profile grows, Messi's influence continues to shape how the story unfolds. The rise feels organic rather than manufactured, rooted in shared moments on the pitch and a visible transfer of confidence. It reinforces the idea that greatness can elevate others, not by overshadowing them, but by creating space for them to shine. In this dynamic, the youngster's ascent becomes a reflection of Messi's enduring impact on football, where his presence still defines pathways, accelerates dreams, and reshapes futures. High pressure and expectations placed on the teenage attacker become unavoidable the moment a young player is linked with a global icon and a rapidly growing club. At just 18 years old, the attacker steps into an environment where patience is limited and attention is relentless. Every touch of the ball is observed, every decision analysed, and every performance compared against standards far beyond his years. What might have been a gradual learning curve suddenly turns into a test of mental strength as much as technical ability. The pressure does not come from one direction alone. Fans expect instant flashes of brilliance, driven by hype and headlines that frame the teenager as a future star rather than a developing player. Social media amplifies this pressure, turning moments of success into viral praise and moments of struggle into harsh criticism. For a young attacker still finding his rhythm, this emotional swing can be exhausting, forcing him to learn resilience earlier than most players at his stage of development. Within the club, expectations are equally complex. Coaches see potential but also understand the responsibility that comes with fast-tracking a young talent. Training sessions become high-stakes environments where mistakes feel more costly because they are no longer private learning moments. The presence of senior stars raises the bar, pushing the teenage to match intensity, discipline, and professionalism that are typically learned over time. This internal pressure can be motivating, but it can also create fear of failure if not carefully managed. The comparison factor adds another heavy layer. When a teenage attacker is promoted alongside a legendary figure, the football world instinctively searches for similarities in style, movement, or decision making. These comparisons often ignore context and experience, setting unrealistic benchmarks that few players in history could meet at such a young age. Carrying these expectations can distort self perception, making the player feel either overconfident after brief success or deeply discouraged after inevitable setbacks. Despite these challenges, pressure also acts as a powerful catalyst for growth. Being trusted in a demanding environment can sharpen focus and accelerate maturity. The teenage attacker learns to prepare more thoroughly, recover more intelligently, and approach each match with heightened awareness. Facing expectations head on forces the development of mental tools such as composure, adaptability, and emotional control, qualities that separate promising talents from consistent professionals. The role of the club becomes crucial in shaping how this pressure is experienced. Proper guidance, clear communication, and realistic performance targets help transform expectations into motivation rather than burden. Support from experienced teammates offers reassurance. Hat struggles are part of the journey, not signs of failure. When managed correctly, the pressure surrounding a teenage attacker becomes a structured challenge rather than chaos, allowing confidence to grow steadily rather than collapse under weight. Ultimately, the expectations placed on the teenager reflect belief in his potential as much as they reflect public excitement. They signal that the club sees value worth investing in and a future worth protecting. Navigating this phase successfully requires balance, patience, and understanding from everyone involved, as the line between nurturing talent and overwhelming it remains thin and constantly shifting. Strategic move by Inter Miami to build the club's future around youth and star power represents a new era in how MLS teams approach growth, branding, and long-term competitiveness. Traditionally, Major League Soccer has relied heavily on marquee signings to attract attention and boost ticket sales, often prioritizing established stars nearing the peak or twilight of their careers. Inter Miami, however, appear to be combining this strategy with a forward-looking vision that emphasizes youth development, creating a dual pathway for success. By pairing a global icon like Lionel Messi with a rising 18-year-old attacker, the club signals that it is committed not just to short-term spectacle, but also to cultivating the next generation of talent capable of sustaining success over years, if not decades. This strategic approach carries multiple layers of impact. From a sporting perspective, nurturing young talent internally allows Inter Miami to develop players who are fully integrated into the club's philosophy, style of play, and culture. The teenager benefits from high-level mentorship, daily exposure to elite standards, and a structured environment that accelerates technical, tactical, and mental growth. At the same time, the club secures a potential cornerstone for the future, someone who can contribute significantly on the pitch while also representing the organisation off it. The combination of youth development and star influence creates a virtuous cycle. The young player grows under Messi's guidance. Messi enhances the club's global appeal, and the club establishes itself as both aspirational and developmental. Off the pitch, this strategy demonstrates a keen understanding of the modern football ecosystem where brand visibility and narrative are as important as trophies. By associating Messi with an emerging talent, Inter Miami generate international media attention, social media engagement, and fan interest at a scale few MLS teams have achieved. This attention strengthens the club's commercial position, attracting sponsorships, merchandising opportunities, and potential partnerships, while also elevating the perceived value of the young player. The narrative of a global legend mentoring a teenage attacker resonates across markets, creating a story that is both emotionally compelling and commercially viable. Furthermore, the approach highlights Inter Miami's ambition to become a blueprint for other MLS clubs seeking long-term relevance. Instead of relying solely on older, high-profile stars to deliver immediate results, the club demonstrates that strategic investment in youth, combined with careful integration of elite talent, can produce a sustainable model for competitive success. This strategy encourages other young players to consider MLS not merely as a stepping stone or retirement destination, but as a platform for development under the guidance of the world's best. The dual focus on youth and star power also sends a powerful message to fans and players alike. Inter Miami are not content with temporary glory. They are constructing a framework where future stars are cultivated while current icons enhance visibility and credibility. Each match, each training session, and each media interaction becomes part of a larger narrative, reinforcing the club's identity as a place where talent meets opportunity, mentorship drives growth, and ambition is matched with action. By executing this strategy thoughtfully, Inter Miami set themselves apart in a league that is evolving quickly, blending spectacle and substance in a way that redefines expectations for both player development and organisational vision. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.